So guys, in this video we are going to design this simple NavBar or this simple AppBar, and it's responsive. So if I reduce the width, we'll find this. So if I try to increase the width, then we'll have this. So let's get onto it. If you don't have FunUI installed on your React or Next.js project, make sure to install it either with yarn or npm. Install the React icons packages to use icons. After that, import our CSS file on your root layout and let's design. I have a blank page open over here. So if I open the file, there's nothing really happening. So now we are going to create a simple AppBar. So first I'll need to import the AppBar component. So I'll use the import AppBar from FunUI CSS /UI /AppBar with capitals over here. So now duplicate this with Shift Alt and down so that to duplicate it down. So I'll change this to text. So we'll use the text component too. That's why I'm importing it. So from text and here text like this. So we have the AppBar and the text component imported over here. So I'll create my AppBar over here. So I'll use the AppBar to create an AppBar. So I can close it with a self-closing tag over here. So I've closed it. So let me bring it up. So let me delete this. So if I open my file, there's nothing going on. So if I come over here and then I put the left, so we have the left prop. So if I write something like maybe logo, we have the center prop. So if I write something like maybe center links, and then we have the right prop. So maybe right links. So if I save this and then I open, we'll have the logo, we have the center links, and we have the right links over here. So now let's replace this with links. So first of all, I'll start with the logo. So let me delete the logo, and then I will create a simple text component over here, maybe text, something like this. Then I'll use the self-closing tag to close it. So the text component have the text prop to define the text. So maybe UI, something like UI designs. So this is the name, UI designs. So if I open, we'll have UI designs over here. So let's increase the size of the text and make it bold. So to increase the size of the text, we have the heading prop. So I can use the heading, then I can set it equals to maybe h4, so that to be at h4 element. So if I go to increase the size of the text over here, so let me open back my file and make it bold. So I'll just write bold so it will be bold. So if I come, it will be bold. So now let's change the color. So I can change the color to maybe something like primary. So I'll change the color to primary. So if I open and I come, the color will be changed to primary. So if you're having trouble with the class names and the colors, you can head over to funui.netlify.app. That's the main website. Then you can go to the documentations and check out everything. So we have the colors over here. So if you come to our colors, so these are the colors. So you can use any of these colors. So I'm using the primary color over here. So now let's focus on the center. So I'll come over here and then I'll delete everything, and then I'll put the brackets. So now we'll have to import the row flex. So let me come over here. Let me open the documentations and explain the row flex. So if we come to specials, okay, specials over here, then we'll come to row flex. So the row flex displays the elements in a row. So we can have 1, 2, 3. So they are displayed in the form of a row. So let me import it first. So maybe I can copy it. So this is the import. So let me copy it and let me paste it over here. So import row flex from FunUI CSS /UI/specials/row flex. So I can then use the row flex over here. So row flex, then I'll close it. So we can then put our links over here. So the first link, so let me import links. Make sure you import links from Next/link. So we have the href prop. So I can set it equals to maybe say slash. Then let me close it. So the first links will be something like maybe product. Let me copy the link. Then I'll highlight it. So I'll simply highlight this. Then I'll use Shift Alt and down to duplicate it multiple times. So we have product, we have marketplace, we have something like about, we have maybe team. So if I open, we have product, marketplace, about, and team, but there's no space between the links. So we'll use the gap. So come to the row flex. So if we head over to the documentation, so this is the row flex component. We have the gap over here. The gap is used to set a gap between your elements. So let me use the gap. So I'll just write something like maybe gap, then I can set it equals to maybe 1. So if I open, so let me go to the file. So there will be a gap of 1 rems between the links. So these are the gaps. So now let's focus on the right links. So if we go to the right over here, so let me just remove everything over here. So now what we want to do is want to have a button over here, 2 buttons. We want to have a sign up button and a login button. So I'll come over here, let me go to the top and then import the button first. So if we head over to the documentations again, then let's go to buttons. So this is the button. So if I click here, so this is the import. So let me import the button. So I've copied it, then I'll come and paste it over here. So import button from FunUI CSS/UI/button/button. So now I can start by writing a button, something like this. So the button have a prop called the text. So if we open, this is a simple button. So if I click get code, so this is the button. So I can simply click on get components over here to copy it. So if I paste it over here, so this is the button. So this is the background. So the background is primer, and this is the text, simple button. So if I change this to something like maybe sign up, so can I spell sign up? Sign up. So if I come over here, then I'll refresh. So we'll have a sign up over here, sign up button over here. So we can also use the raise prop to put a little bit of shadows on our button. So this is the shadow over here. So now we'll put another button over here for the sign in. So the sign in button too will be here. So we are going to use the row flex to separate the sign up button from the sign in button. So let me just cut this. Okay, so I can now bring the row flex over here, then I'll paste this to have the sign up. So if I use code Shift Alt and down, so that I'll duplicate this to create the sign in. So sign in. So for the sign in button, we don't need a background color, so I can change this BG to color so that the color of the text will be changed, leaving the background. So if I come, we'll have this sign in button, but there's a shadow, that's the raise. So I'll simply eliminate my raise, then I'll come back again to have this simple button. So I want to put a straight line over here, just a breadcrumb to separate the sign up from the sign in. So I'll go up, then I'll import. Let me just open the documentations first, then I'll head over to breadcrumbs over here. So let me select this straight breadcrumbs. So these are the lines I want. So I'll import breadcrumbs. So import let me copy it. So let me paste this. So import breadcrumbs from FunUI css/ui/breadcrumbs/breadcrumbs. So I'll come down, then I'll use the breadcrumb over here, just like this. So if I head over to the documentations and breadcrumbs, we have the type over here. Select the type of breadcrumb to use. We have the straight, less, greater, and slash. So I want the straight, so I'll just copy this straight. Then I'll just write type. So type is equals to straight. So if I save this and then I open my file, we'll have this straight breadcrumb over here. So now I'll put a little bit of space between the button and the breadcrumbs. So I'll go to my row first, then I'll put a gap of 1. So if I save this, we'll have a space between our button and our breadcrumb. So we have this simple AppBar over here. So if you check, the bar is responsive. So if I try to collapse, so let me reduce the size of my browser. So if you check, if you increase the size, we'll find the buttons, but if you decrease it, the buttons will collapse, or the links will collapse. So if I increase, maybe I want to have my links even if it is collapsed, so I can use the visible links. So visible, can I spell visible links? Then I'll save. So if I put the visible links, irrespective of the person's device width, but the buttons and the links will be shown. So even if I increase or I have decreased it, but they will be shown over here. So let me just remove it. I'm demonstrating. And one of the important prop is the site trigger prop. So if you head over to the documentations, so let me go to the AppBar. So let's scroll down to AppBar over here and then click on get. We have the sidebar trigger over here. So you can use this sidebar trigger. So let me just demonstrate. Let me first of all import this icon. That's the pie list icon. So let me import the icon first. So this is the icon I've imported. So after importing the icon, I'll just open back to the documentation. Then I'll copy the sidebar trigger over here. So let me bring it down to here. Then I'll paste it. We have the sidebar trigger over here. So if I try to collapse it, we'll find this over here, this navigation bar icon. But if we increase, it will collapse and it will show all the links. So let me just increase it back. We can also use the FunCSS Pro to add some stylings. So we can use it to style the app bar. So I can just write something like card, so that to add a shadow. So if I come, there'll be a shadow over here. So that's the card. Or I can use the raise. So if we come over here, you see the shadow have changed to much deeper and a smaller depth. So if I come over here again, so let me just delete everything. We can also use the fix button, to create a fixed navigation bar which is sticked at the bottom. So this is the navigation bar or the app bar at the bottom. So we can also use the fixed top. So let me just change this to top so that it will be fixed at the top. So now it's fixed at the top, but you will not know whether it's fixed at the top unless you have content below which are scrolling down. So let me demonstrate it. So let's write some dummy text over here. So simple, duplicate this a couple more of times. So let me just duplicate it down and let me save. So if we come, you see the navigation bar or the app bar is sticked at the top while the content is scrolling. But if I remove this, let me go up and then I remove the fixed top again. So if I remove the fixed top, you see that the navigation or the app bar is not fixed. But if I put it back and save, it will be fixed at the top. So guys, that's all for AppBar. If you need anything, you can check the documentations for more details. And in the next video, we'll look at how to create a simple hero section.